All right, guys, thanks for being here. It's our mastermind call here, Tuesday night on January, what is the date? 24th. I think this is going to be, let me look at the calendar. Oh, we'll have one more mastermind group for this month, and then things are going to kind of be a little different for next month. So make sure that you check out my live video that I just did in the team page around, it was around like 8:15 tonight, about how to get into this group and how to schedule a one-on-one call for me for next month. So anyways, I thought it would be good if we could talk about some social media tonight. And I'm not a social media guru by any means at all. But I do know that with this business, you have to learn social media because it's all about attraction marketing. It's all about, you being yourself, putting yourself out there, sharing struggles that you're going through, just being real, sharing what's working, what's not working, adding value. And I know a lot of times it feels like, is anybody even watching me, or is anybody reading these posts? I'm not getting any likes, but they are watching, and it's all about being consistent. So I'm going to start out just really basic because I actually did kind of a check of a lot of people's profiles and their walls over the past like 1 or 2 weeks. So a couple of these things that I'm going to be going over were just things that I noticed that we need to improve on. So number one, your profile picture, make sure that it's a nice, crystal clear photo of yourself. You don't want to put like just a picture of a dog or anything like that, because then people aren't going to know who the heck you are, right? Especially if you are sending people friend requests. I know that I'm really weary if I get friend requests from people and I can't see who the person is. And even when I can see who it is, I still go to their wall and I'm like, who is this person? Is this just some weirdo, or what's this person all about? So make sure that you have a crystal clear picture of yourself as your profile picture. Make sure that you actually clean your lens on your phone. Okay, if you haven't had like professional pictures done, make sure that the picture, that if you took it yourself and did like a selfie or whatever, make sure it's up close, brighten it up, edit it in like PicMonkey or Canva, whatever it is, make it nice and bright and clear, and no smudges on your lenses, right? For any of your pictures, always make sure. Nick always gets mad at me because a lot of times I'll be like, I'll take a picture and I'll show Nick and he'll be like, Kathy, your camera, it is so smudged. So I always remember to just kind of like that little circle there before I take a picture and put it up there. All right. The cover photo, I'm sure you guys all know about the cover photo, but you want to make sure, again, like your cover photo is not anything salesy. You do not want to have any Beachbody stuff on the cover photo. You want to have things on there that represent you. So laughter, faith, whatever is important to you, family, and have pictures of those things so that when people go to your profile, they can get a good glimpse of what you're all about. So definitely want to make it your own, and you really want to personalize it. And again, you can do that in Canva, or you can do it in PicMonkey. There's a lot of different things that you can do that in. All right. This is probably the most important piece, guys, is really, and this is where I've been really seeing people struggle, is with the consistency with the posting on social media. So we all know that we're supposed to be posting at least 3 times a day. All right. So you're posting on social media, and if you're a new coach and you're listening to this call later, you're posting, you're sharing all these different things, and really no one's liking it. No one's commenting. You're thinking to yourself, is this even the right thing? Should I be doing this? But it is the right thing. People are watching you. Trust me, people are reading every single post. Every post that you make is being read. All right. And you could have like your next rock star coach out there that you don't even know that they exist in the background. They're just stalking you, reading all of your posts. All right. So you need to stay consistent with it. And I'm telling you, if you stay consistent with those 3 posts at least a day for 3 months, you will start having a response from people. You will start having people come around and want to be a part of your team. You'll start having people come around and want to sign up and be in your challenge groups. But it's not something that you can do for like 1 or 2 weeks, and say like, oh God, it's not working. Like no one's, engaging in anything. It is definitely a delayed response, and it's at least 3 months. So for those of you who are on the call, if you have like newer coaches, just let them know that, kind of pass this information on to them, that it takes consistency and patience for it to pay off. All right. Really be you in all the posts. I mean, this is when you can really let go and really stop giving, I'm not going to say any swears and shit about what anybody else thinks about you. And should I say this? Is someone going to judge that? Like, what's this person going to say? When you start really letting it all hang out, the real you, that is when your business will blow up. Okay. That is when you will start attracting your tribe to you, is when you start acting that way. All right. So you don't want to appear picture perfect, right? Like, if you talk and you swear, like Courtney, she puts it in her post, right? I mean, seriously, this is how she talks. This is what she's sharing. There's nothing wrong with that. She's being her. Like, you've got to be yourself, like, unapologetically, because you want people like you on your team. And if you're not being you, you're never going to get that person who's like you on the team. And then that's when you start attracting all the wrong kinds of people, and it never lasts. They never stick around because you were never really your authentic self. Do you know what I mean? So that's a really big piece. And a lot of that does come with personal development over time, and just realizing that, you know what? Nobody else is in control of my life. I'm going to make this into a business. I'm going with this thing. I'm going to the top, and I'm just going to be me. And whoever comes along on this ride comes along on this ride. You can delete, you can unfriend, or you can sit on the side and watch me, but I'm being me. I'm going to the top of this thing, and I'm attracting people like me to it. So anything that really resembles you, like if you love pizza or whatever, or you like coffee like I do, I mean, share these little things about yourself. Just be yourself. Okay. Focus on one platform and really try to master it. I know I've been seeing a lot of coaches, kind of, especially, more of the newer ones, under 6 months of coaching at least, who have been like trying to do a bunch of different platforms at once. Don't do that. Guys, I built this business to a 6-figure income business in 1 year off of my personal page. Plain and simple. Behind the scenes, down in the trenches, just talking to people and inviting them. Nothing fancy. That was it. And once I mastered that, and I was in the business for at least 1.5 years, then I branched off and I went to Instagram. But before that, I wasn't using Instagram at all. So don't feel like you need to do all these different things, especially if you're not consistent with social media. You definitely don't want to be that coach who's inconsistent on all these different platforms. So stick with one, master it, and then move on to the next. Obviously, you guys know too, especially the people who are on the call right now, that we don't want to look salesy, okay? You wouldn't walk into a party and go right up to somebody and be like, hey, want to buy Shakeology, when they don't even know you, right? You would start off talking to people. It's the same thing on social media. You want to start out by just sharing. People should not be able to go to your wall and actually be able to tell that you are selling anything. That's really the key to it. You should have people being a little bit curious, like, what does she do exactly? Like sharing bits of information and things about it, but not being so all up in your face, like Shakeology, Beachbody Coach, blah, 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 blah. Like, you want to be sharing those little nuggets all the time. You really do want to use social media to create that curiosity with people. That's why I always say, especially to newer coaches, don't put your Shakeology in the Shakeology cup. And I mean, if you use it, fine. But I remember when we heard from Amy Silverman, she said, don't use like Shakeology on anything like that when you're making a shake. And I was like, that makes so much sense, right? Because then you're telling people already what you're drinking. But if you put it in, even if you just turn the glass around, or you pour it in another glass and you're drinking it and you take a picture, it piques interest and curiosity in people for them to actually come to you and be like, what are you drinking? You always look so happy and like you're so healthy. What is that stuff? Versus just giving them the information. So you want to look at your social media platform and ask yourself that question. Are you giving people like curiosity about what you're doing? Or are you being more on like the sales end of things? All right. Then when people come to you and they're interested, then you can start to talk to them more about it and try to get them into something. All right. We don't also want everything to be Beachbody. Like, you want to be providing value to people every single day. So you're going to get more attention from people if you do that, right? So if you are giving tips about anything, so what I did is I just have a list of like all these different things that I like, and I've already done like a bunch of posts about them, but just like I have this really awesome leave-in conditioner that works so good because my hair is such a tangled mess, and I actually hate taking a shower and washing my hair because it gets so knotted and it's so long. I just dread it. But I have this awesome leave-in conditioner that works so well, and I know I made a post about that one time. So I like a lot of that kind of stuff. Anything that you like. A tip, a baby monitor. I remember I shared something about a baby monitor that I thought worked really well. I shared that. It's just free. You want to give people as much free tips and value as much as you possibly can. Now, you don't want to only have that stuff on your wall every day. You want to have that obviously combined into with the health and fitness piece and the business side of things. So a good mix between all those things. You can post about things that are funny. You can ask a question. People love giving their opinion about things, right? Even if you know the answer, just to drive engagement to your wall, you can ask questions, share knowledge about something, give like just something interesting to share with them, whatever it is, but you definitely want to have a variety of things on there. You don't want it to be like always, like you're posting once a day, but the only thing you post is like a workout picture, or you're posting every single day, but the only thing that you're posting about is this healthy recipe that you ate. You really got to make sure it's the 3 posts a day. Honestly, that you have to do that. You have to make it a daily habit to do it at least 3 every single day. This is a big piece too that I see a lot of people are missing out on this. Spending time engaging with other people on their personal walls. So, for example, anytime that I have like new friends that accept my friend requests or who friend requests me, I've created a list on my home page that I showed you guys the last time we talked about how to create lists. And I just do new friends accepted or new friends or whatever it is. And every single day, no matter what time it is, no matter how tired I am, I go to their wall and I pick 3 to 5 people and I engage in what they're sharing on social media. This is a huge, huge, huge piece that we need to make sure that we're doing. And a lot of times people are just so quick to just spend it just inviting, which yes, you do need to do that, but you also need to spend it forming and building relationships. But there needs to be that balance. So I've seen people spend all their time forming and they never actually invite. And then I've seen people spend all their time inviting and they never actually spend the time building relationships behind the scenes with other people. So you have to have that balance of doing both things every single day. Okay. Everyone is always watching, guys, every single thing that you're doing. They really are. So if you're posting things that like aren't consistent with who you really are as a person and you're not really being you, people are going to know. People are going to totally know that you're just kind of faking it. You're not really being yourself, so you really do have to be authentic and be consistent with it. And if you're not consistent with the posts, the thing that happens is your audience has been watching you now, right? And I know we'd all like a lot more likes and a lot more engagement on these posts about coaching and, getting into the challenge groups and all that stuff. But if all of a sudden that you stop being consistent, or if you're just inconsistent now and you're not sharing something every single day and you're not up on your posts and sharing on social media, it shows that you're not consistent with the business. People see that. People will know that you're not consistent with this business. They'll kind of question where you're going with this, right? So act like a serious entrepreneur when you're behind the scenes and you're showing up every day and you're sharing on social media. Act like a serious entrepreneur. And if you do that, people will literally believe that this is legit. They will know that you are legit. They'll know that you're serious. And if you keep that, they will never doubt your vision with this. Whereas if you are very inconsistent, you have people watching you that they have doubt that you are probably not going to make it with this. They've already got that doubt now in their mind because you're not there every single day, right? You're not there sharing something to inspire, something about the business, how it's changed your life, how it's helped you, something about challenge groups, adding value. You have to do a rotation of these kinds of posts every single day. You also don't want, I see this mistake too though sometimes, you also don't want to just post things about the business or about Beachbody in general, like workouts, superfoods, recipes, all that stuff, because then that can get really boring and annoying to people. And people will start to just ignore you and they'll start to unfollow you because they just don't want any part of it, right? It's just the same thing all the time. right? So that's why you really do need to get creative with your post and throw in personal things and throw in something funny and throw in a question and all different kinds of things so that it keeps your audience wanting to come back for more. Okay. Another quick tip too about the whole social media piece. When people send you messages, don't reply back like so fast, because that is another thing too, like from the outside looking in. If you're saying that you're this super successful coach and you have this successful team and this is like your full-time business or whatever it is, whatever you're saying, and people are messaging you and you're like, boom, right back to them, they're going to question that too. They're going to be like, how serious is she really? How could she possibly be doing that well if she got right back to me? I mean, if I were to, email the president for God's sakes, or if you were to email the president for God's sakes and he wrote right back to you, wouldn't you be like, that's a little strange? Isn't he like super busy? Real entrepreneurs are busy. They can't just boom, get back to every single question. They have set times, during the days. It might even take them a whole day or 2 days to get back to people. So quick replies, stay away from them. And they're also just not sustainable. You will legit drive yourself insane. Trust me, I did it for the first whole year in this business. It is literally impossible. So, I don't know. I hope that those tips kind of helped. It is good to follow like other coaches in the network that are successful, but you also have to know yourself and know if you're the type of person that can handle doing that without comparing yourself to them. You definitely don't want to get into the comparison game. But like I said, if you can sit down and you can make a list of all the things that you like to do, the things that are important to you, little tips and tricks that you have around anything. It does not need to be health and fitness related. It can be completely irrelevant to that. Like if you're totally into lip glosses like I am, which is why I spent $26 on one the other day, okay? Share whatever is you and add little bits of information about those kinds of things. But just make sure you're posting every single day on social media, guys, about the business and about a challenge group. And I'm going to try, to kind of come up with some kind of schedule maybe to try to help the team out. But I mean, like today, for example, is like Transformation Tuesday. It's a really good chance. I mean, this is something that I am committing to for the rest of the year is I want to share a photo of either a challenger or, a coach or somebody else besides myself at least once a week, because it is good to show your results. People definitely want to see, obviously, that you are proof the product works, but they also want to see that it's not just you that it's working on and that it's somebody else as well, that you are actually changing other people's lives with these programs and products that we always are talking about. So, yeah. Does anybody have any questions about any of that or anything they want to add? Oh, one last thing. Set your profile to public too. I mean, literally you're missing out on a humongous amount of people by not having it at public. And if you have like private things that you don't want to share, you don't want people to see, like I will just set like certain things that I'm posting or sharing about the kids. Like if I have certain things I just don't want other people to see, I will just set the post to, only friends, so that the people I'm only friends with can see it instead of every other Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world who's following me and God knows what else is going on. But you are definitely missing out on huge opportunity and a huge amount of people by not setting it to public. So definitely make sure that you set it to public. And like I said, you can, click the drop down arrow next to each post you make and change it to friends of friends or just friends, whatever it is, so that it's more selective and more private that way. But you never want to post, on social media, like you never want to share your Beachbody link. I see this sometimes. You never want to like post your link to my store on your wall. None of that. Like we shouldn't be seeing any links. We shouldn't be seeing any stock images from the website of like Autumn Calabrese with the containers. I mean, I know everybody makes that mistake. I did it too when I was a brand new coach. Personalize everything. And start with sharing why you're doing this. With every post you make that has to pertain to your health and fitness journey or the shake that you're drinking or why you're in this business, always start with the why first. And I've been listening to, I've been really heavy into the PD, because that is my goal this year, is to be a better leader, to help, you know, anybody who's coming with me on this crazy train to the top, help you guys become better and become better leaders. So I've been really hitting the PD really hard, a lot of leadership stuff, but I've been listening to Simon Sinek a lot, and he's so good, and it's so true. It made so much sense when he said, so many people always are talking about the what. What is it we're drinking? We're drinking Shakeology. It's got 72 superfoods in it. You know, it tastes so awesome. It blah, 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 blah. But we're never sharing exactly like why we're drinking the superfood shake. And that's what gets people to hop on board. It's not what you're doing. They buy into why you're doing it, why you're drinking the shake, why you're doing your workouts every day, why are you following this nutrition plan, and why you're in this business. All of those things are all tied together. And as soon as you can start to share more from the heart about it, and just be more raw and honest about it, and share that why piece with every post you make. And it might take you a couple minutes before you sit down, instead of just banging out a post to say you did a post. It might take you a couple minutes to sit down and say, all right, how can I know what I want to say about this, but how can I reword it so that way my audience is seeing why it's important for me, or why I'm doing this. But it makes such a difference, guys, if you can start, you know, making your post be that way. All right. Anybody have any questions about social media or anything like that? Just basic tips too, like keep an eye on whoever is liking or commenting on any of your posts. You know, really go through at the end of every single night. That's what I do. I go through every single post. I don't care what it was that I made it about, and I write down every single person's name, unless they're a coach, obviously, of who liked my post that I did. And I use that list, and I work off of that list to build new relationships with, to invite them to my challenge groups, to invite them to the coaching opportunity, to invite them to our coach blitzes, whatever. If they're liking my post about my dog, they're getting an invite to something. So do you guys have anything on your mind about that? Any questions, struggles? It really is all about consistency, guys. You know I've said the story before that, I mean, I'm literally still having people come around now. 2 years later, they've been watching me, people from high school, and they, you know, I had like 2 more people come to me, and they're like, I can't believe it's taking me this long. This is ridiculous, but, you know, I've been watching you, and we're finally ready. And when we finally decided that we wanted to make this change in our health and fitness, you were the first person that came to my mind, because you're always there, and you're so consistent on social media for almost, you know, 3 years now. So you want to be that person, right? You got to be that person who's always there, showing, even if it seems repetitive, guys. Sharing your journey, sharing your you know, health and fitness tips, tricks, whatever. And also including, though, guys, what I really don't see from hardly anybody is an actual challenge group invite on people's walls. Very rarely have I seen that recently. It's important that you do that. Obviously, it's not something that you want to post every day, but at least once a week, one challenge group post should definitely be on there, because that's not a lot. I mean, you figure if you're posting 3 times a week, right, that's 21 posts a week. One post out of the 21, that's totally doable. But there needs to be an explicit challenge group invite at least once a week, definitely once a week, not at least, but definitely once a week on your wall. So sometimes people get into this and they think they're going to constantly be posting challenge group invites. You don't want to do that either, because that's just annoying. But you definitely do want to be posting that once a week. Same thing with like the business opportunity. It should be a post once a week. Something about, you know, I'm going to be mentoring 3 new people before the month is over, or my next coach training is kicking off in a week, and I'm looking to bring on 5 people to personally mentor this year. Something like that, but it needs to be there once a week, because people don't know to go to you. They don't know unless you actually invite them to come to you or personally go to them. So even though you might be nailing your posts every day and you have these awesome posts, you still need to have those explicit invites in there. All right. I'm not going to blab anymore, guys. If anybody has any questions, unmute, type it in the chat. Otherwise, I will let you guys go, because I wanted to keep these calls kind of short anyways. Anybody have anything? Nope. Doing good. Well, no news is good news. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here, and I will definitely upload the recording into the group in probably an hour or so. So thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you on Thursday. We have a guest speaker Thursday on our team call, so make sure you're there. Spread it to your teams. Make sure they're on too. You're not going to want to miss it. All right. Have an awesome night, guys. Bye, everyone.